What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Forever Stranded Lost Souls. Oh yeah, guys. So I am in the process of trying to create some applied energistics stuff here, and we are running out of pure Certus, pure Fluix, pure everything. We never did hook up this thing over here, a crystal growth chamber, to be automated, so we could send seeds over here, have them grow up, and then import it back into the system. So I want to start working on that. Well, the first thing for today. So I think what we're going to do, we are going to change some things here, and I think we should be okay. Pretty much what I want to do, I want to get rid of this cable connecting here, which is providing that power, and replace that with an import bus. So can we just throw an import bus on there? No, I think we have to break this cable, place that there, and then put the cable back. Okay, so now that should reconnect everything else up there and connect an import bus to this thing. We want to put a capacity card in here so we can filter specific items to be imported. Otherwise, if we put seeds in here, the import bus will be like, hey, I got items in here, let's start importing them, right? So we don't really want that to happen. We want it to only import specific items. So we could do pure, like grab each one of these things, and then I think we need regular Fluix too, because we are creating Fluix in there. I guess we have Fluix essence. Maybe we're creating it with the essence as well, but we'll put it on a filter. So we'll just shift click each one of those in there. So these are the only things the import bus will care about. Okay, so we can do that. Do we have any acceleration? We got one. Can I craft up a few of these things, like 5? Looks like it's gonna let me do that. Okay, so we'll craft up a few more acceleration cards here so we can make the import bus import as fast as it will. Import. No, yeah, that's fine. Can search for import on that. So 3 more in there, and I think I saw this needed. Yeah, we took one out of there at some point, I guess. All right, so we'll put those back away. So this is not getting power at this point. We need to get ourselves an interface. So let's do that. The interface will provide it with the items so we can make a recipe, and the ME cable will connect to that, which will connect to this and provide it power. So the interface will serve 2 purposes here. So we can place that right here, and we can also get rid of this cable too. That elbow does not matter. So we're sending the channels and the power to here, and then that's sending it further up. Now, the only thing is, I'm not entirely sure how many channels we're using up there. Does each one of these have a channel on the back? I would imagine it does, right? So that's 7 plus 8. And then 9 for the import bus. So we might be overloading. We might have to do something else here. Yeah, that says it's using 8 channels here, but I think I'm going to be counting 9. So probably what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of this as well. Yeah, that's just not going to work. We will have to bring another cable off of here. We'll have to make sure those don't connect. We can do that with like cable anchors, or we could do different color cables. Yeah, okay, well, we got a problem. Let's do this real quick. So we'll do that right here. Okay, so that cable shouldn't connect like so, right? And yeah, I guess we'll just run it up. How are we gonna do this? Like this, like that. I guess we can just run it up like this. That'll be fine. Okay, so now those cables are separated. We should see 9 channels if everything connects. Yeah, you can see there's 2 channels already. Yeah, now we're doing 9. Previously, we were overloaded, so one of those inscribers up there would not have been working. Now we're fine. Okay, so I think we should be okay. We just need to get a pattern in here that's going to say 1 seed equals 1 pure, or maybe a stack of seeds equals a stack of pure, and then we should pretty much be set here. So let's do seed. If I can do, how about a stack of those? Let's do 64 of these seeds. It does have to crush up this stuff, but I think overall, if you do like a stack at a time, even though it takes a little bit of time to like pulverize this, it'll just go faster. Because if you don't do that, it'll crush one thing, make 1 seed, put it into here, wait for that to grow up, import that, then put the next seed in. And it goes kind of slow if you do it that way. So you kind of want to do it in batches. Yeah, it just speeds things up overall. Okay, so anyway, seed we can do 64 Certus quartz will equal pure Certus. We want a stack of that. So a stack of the seeds equals a stack of the pure. We can do this, and we can just go ahead and throw this down here into our interface like so. So now we should be able to tell the system to make pure Certus. I want to make sure this is going to work. Just say, if I'm going to make one, it's going to do a full stack. So we'll just say next. Looks like we have the seeds in there. They are growing up. And then I want to make sure they get imported. And they do. Okay, very good. Recipe complete. No jobs active. Awesome. So now I'll go ahead and repeat that process for the other seeds. And we'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so I made some patterns here to make some purple dye, and then I made pattern to make purple ME dense smart cable, right? We're going to rearrange our wiring system for our applied energistics downstairs, and we're going to use one ME dense smart cable to provide 32 channels all over the base, 32 P2P channels, that is. This is similar to what we've done before in our other series here. Currently, we have our channels going directly off the controller through just a regular cable and then attaching to some P2Ps in some locations, and they are attaching to just other things like interfaces. We don't really know how many channels are on here, and we're limiting how many we can send around the base. So what I would like to do is replace this cable here with a purple dense cable, and everywhere we go off of this particular, well, I guess the dense cable, we'll just put a P2P, and then we'll be able to track how many channels are on that line left. And yeah, I think it'll just make things a little bit cleaner and nicer. So we're currently crafting up all of that stuff, and it does take a lot of resources in order to make this kind of stuff in this mod pack. So we're kind of waiting on the crushed quartz, and we're making pure fluix, and we're doing this and that. So the things that we set up earlier are definitely helpful. Now, purple dye, that's kind of an interesting thing. Why did I go with purple? We have, dye essence. I set seeds up to make dye essence earlier, thinking, hey, we'll be able to make all of the different colors with this, right? No, unfortunately, you can't make all the colors with this dye essence for some reason I don't quite understand. But you can make, ink sacs black dye. You can make purple dye, cyan, gray dye, and lime dye. So out of the 5 options, I elected to go with purple just because we don't use purple too often. Why not? Just something a little bit different. So yeah, that's why I went with purple there. So I think we're going to be running like a dense cable over that way, and maybe a second one back over this way. Yeah, I think that's going to make some sense here. And then we'll have a lot more channels to do things with. We'll be able to tell like what our applied energistics system's doing, so we're not running out of different connections. So I think last episode we were running into the problem where we weren't making enough power to run all the things. We were trying to run the quarry in the end. We were trying to run our laser drill. We're trying to run our base stuff. Yep, and our reactor just was not keeping up with the power. Now it is, so I'm assuming the quarry in the end has finished, but I do want to look at upgrading our power a little bit. So in preparation for that, I was looking at what it costs to make the reactor casing. I was thinking we were going to expand our reactor out. I don't know if we're going to do this just yet, but I was thinking that's what we were going to do. And I was like, oh yeah, graphite bars. How do you get graphite? You need graphite dust smelted. Well, how do you get the graphite dust? You have to sift for it. Okay. Well, that got me thinking we should probably take care of that. So off camera here, between last episode and now, I spent a little bit of time here in the world. What was I doing? Over here, I was using the enchantment table here. So I was doing, let's grab a diamond mesh, or what is it called? Diamond stiffened mesh. So I was taking one of these with lapis, obviously. 3 lapis. And I was using this tome of knowledge here. Let's go ahead and give myself 30 levels of experience. Okay. So I was doing this. We have the mesh. We did this. And we were enchanting it. So this gives us Civ Luck of the Sea. I didn't really care about what the enchantment was. I was just taking number 3 because you do get multiple enchantments sometimes. This one we got very unlucky. So we got Luck of the Sea on this one. I was going over to our enchantment extractor over here and then extracting the enchantment off of it. I made a lot of books, which means I had to make a lot of filament, and I think we probably still got a bunch cooking up over here. Yeah, a lot of filament over here. So I was doing this a lot, trying to get Civ efficiency and Civ fortune. So you can see here I have a lot of efficiencies and some luck of the seas and efficiencies. These efficiencies are very, very common. The fortune is not so common. But I did this enough so we were able to take like some fortune 2 enchantments that we're getting and combine those into fortune 3. And you can see we have plenty of the efficiency enchantments over there. So all of our meshes now, all of these guys are all efficiency 4 and fortune 3. When I've done something like this in the past, we had bibliocraft in order to like printing press copy all of these enchantments. I don't think bibliocraft is in this mod pack, so I was not able to do that. So each one of these, like I said, has efficiency 4 and fortune 3 on it. So if we go into the system here and we grab some soul sand, let's grab 9 stacks. We throw those into here, and you see just how quickly that is sifting through the soul sand. It's just like chomping through it. We could probably go faster if we had faster speed upgrades in here too, but it looks like it only like takes 4 or 3 sifts in order to go through the soul sand. Plus we're getting fortune, but the impressive thing here is how much of that the graphite dust that we're getting out of this and the amount of quartz. I tested this before, and the amount of quartz that we get like is more than I can fit in my inventory. Look at that. There's just so much quartz here. So let's go in here, get rid of that nether quartz. Okay, so we're really only concerned about the graphite. So out of 9 stacks, we were able to get this much graphite dust, plus a lot of gas tiers and some bitumen. So I did this a few times already. You can see we got 1,092. If I put that in there, we got 1,350. So we have a decent amount of graphite dust. Yeah, that fortune 3, that's definitely worth it. It did take a bunch of time and a lot of experience, and thankfully the Tome of Knowledge made it a lot easier for us to do that, so we could just fill this up and then give ourselves the levels. I was just doing it like I showed, and then I would give myself 3 more levels, enchant the next one. I was doing like 5 or 6 of those meshes at a time, and then removing the enchantments off of them. But anyway, so we got all of that done. It's very, very nice. So we should be able to make ourselves a bigger extreme reactor. I don't really know what the maximum size on this thing is. I think they go like 16 by 16, but that's an even number, and who does even numbers in Minecraft? Honestly, nobody. Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is I'll make it like a 15 by 15 so we can have an odd number. We'll probably want to dig it into the ground a little bit because it's taking up a lot of space as it is right now. We're gonna want more control rods. We're gonna want more of the Yellorium fuel rods, and then we're gonna have to figure out with a bigger reactor that can produce more power, are we gonna be able to keep up with our Yellorium supply? Currently, we are making like a surplus of it. I guess you can't see on this thing. Yeah, we got 3,033 Yellorium. So we are gaining. We've gotten that much. We've used 91 total. So we are gaining quite a bit. But if we make this thing bigger, are we still going to be gaining? I don't know. I guess it also depends, like if this thing is running full blast, open throttle all the way, providing all the power that it can. Another option is we could look at doing nether stars for power, but I don't know if I want to deal with the explosion from the withered bosses all the time. I don't know. We also have the nether star seeds, but we don't really have a way of growing those fast. We don't have like the imaginary time block. There might be some ways that we could speed up the growth, but yeah, I don't know. We'd have to do like the nether star cruxes if we want to do more than one. Anyway, I think a bigger extreme reactor is what we're going to be doing. So I am going to take some time here, make a whole lot more extreme reactor blocks. We'll see about moving this thing, or maybe just making a second one or something. And we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. So I wasn't thinking that we're going to need much more graphite. I was wrong. Yeah, we're gonna need a whole lot more actually. So I went ahead and I put the 16 speed upgrades in here so we can see how much faster this thing goes with that going. Yeah, that goes decently fast. And if we put in like the speediest speed upgrades, we put 64 of those in there at a time. And this thing would just be a little ridiculous. I don't think we've ever made any of those speed upgrades. Like this just seems fast enough, really. So pretty much what we're doing here, let's let that go for a moment. I'll go collect those before they despawn. If we go all the way down, you can see here that I have dug out a pit and I started filling it in full of these reactor casings. Yeah, there's a lot of reactor casing down there. So like the bottom is 15 by 15. So that is just 225 blocks for the bottom layer alone. Then we need to do the walls all the way up and then the ceiling. So that's a lot of blocks. I've already told the system to craft up a whole lot of the reactor casing. It says we have 59 remaining. That does not seem right. Maybe I didn't have it craft up enough. Anyway, we'll have to craft up more of that, and we could probably also source some of them from our existing reactor, but if we do that, we're going to be out of power for a while. I don't know if I want to do that. We're going to have to move this thing regardless. But yeah, anyway, so we're going to be filling this whole thing up with a 15 by 15 by 15 reactor. And then we're going to be changing the core design. Currently, we're doing like a checkerboard with like 5 of them. I've heard that not doing a checkerboard and just doing a solid core is better for these things. You produce more power. I don't know if it's more efficient or whatever, but it's definitely more powerful. So in this design, we could have a 7 by 7 thing of cores in the center, which means that's 49, which means we need to do that 13 tall, which means we need 637 fuel rods. So if we do fuel rod and we do 637, I know it's getting a little ridiculous. We need like 814 more graphite dust. Not to mention the rest of the casing that we need. So yeah, we're a little short on that. I thought we were going to be having plenty. Nope. I'm definitely glad that I set up the fortune thing on this though, so we can get all of the graphite that we could potentially get out of each one of these pieces of soul sand. Now, collecting the soul sand really isn't that bad. We have nether essence, which allows us to just craft soul sand, but we also have it in the nether that I can go and vein mine. I have a lot of soul sand still remaining in this dank knoll here. Oh, I left a little bit. That's fine. But anyway, so the fact of the matter is we need to sift a lot more soul sand to get a lot more graphite to make all these things. And then it's going to take a bunch of time for us to craft up all those fuel rods. And then we got to figure out what we're going to do during the downtime without power. Like, I need to make sure we have everything ready to go so I can turn on the other reactor and start producing power from that and then bring our applied energistics system online. Yeah, if we halfway through tear down the big reactor, our current existing one, and then we have to set it back up, that's just going to be a ridiculous amount of work, and I really don't want to have to do that. Anyway, I'm going to continue getting all this stuff done. I'll make all 637 Yellorium fuel rods that we are going to need for our other reactor, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, well, there is our extreme reactor, 15 by 15 by 15. A lot of control rods, a lot of fuel rods, a lot of ender pearl juice went into this. I think I had to put in 120 buckets is what the total came to. So that's 13 by 13 minus 7 by 7. Yeah, I think it was 120 buckets is how many blocks under, or how many buckets of ender pearl juice to fill in every single airspace, one layer deep, and then it just flows down. But anyway, this is now set up, so it looks like it just turned on. It's set up now, so when the power gets below 10%, it'll turn itself on. You can see right now, it's already off. And it's still producing like a lot of RF per tick. Yeah, I have it set up to 50% like it was before, but like it was making way too much power. I wasn't able to store that power, and we were wasting a lot of fuel. And it looks like this might be okay at 10%. I don't know if we're going to quite get 100% full. No, that looks like that is pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay, so as this goes down, we'll start using more power out of our energy buffer, and then when it gets down to 10%, it'll kick itself back on for just a little bit. Now, when I initially turned this thing on, it looked like it was making something like, I want to say 100,000 RF per tick, but I'm not entirely sure. Let me get rid of this. We'll turn this thing off so it won't change the control rod insertion at all. Let's do all of these up to 0. Is that all of them, or is that just the one? That might have just been the one. How do I do it for all of them? We need to do shift, control, all the rods. If I press control. Okay, so that should be all the rods are now done. So yes, when this thing is going full blast, we're making like 140,000 RF per tick or so. Somewhere around there, 145,000. So we're making way more power than what we need at the moment. So let me go ahead and turn these things all the way back down. Okay, so we should be off. Yeah, the power is going down. All these control rods have been inserted, so we're no longer doing any reaction. So that's the way this thing's set up. When we get below 10% power, or I guess when we go above 10% power, it emits a redstone signal to turn all of the control rods to be fully inserted. When we drop below 10%, it removes the control rods and lets the reactor make all that power. So this setup, for the first time, I think, I have put all the things on the top face instead of the side faces. That way we can be a little bit more clean with this, and we don't have to have like things underneath the ground. Like everything we can see on the surface here on what it's doing. So yeah, our power is being extracted right here through our flex plug. And then over here we have our fuel insertion and fuel extraction. And instead of using this setup that we had previously, I think we're going to remove all of this and switch it over to applied energistics completely. So like the Yellorium seed will move over here to our array of things that are being grown, right? I guess we'll just put it right there in that one spot. We'll have to set up a drawer over here to start collecting Yellorium essence. I guess we can do that now. Drawer. Drawer. Basic drawer. Okay, so we'll grab one of those. We need Yellorium essence. We might have some in here. Yes, we do. Perfect. So I'll put the drawer right here. We'll do Yellorium essence right there. And we'll grab our keys so we can hide it and lock it. Okay. We are going to want all the upgrades in there. We don't want to waste any Yellorium at all. So another thing that we need to do is we need to set this export bus to export Yellorium. We want it to craft that Yellorium while it's exporting. And we can use stocked items first. So if we have any ingots in the system, it'll export those. And then when we're out of ingots, it'll craft for more if we have the recipe, which we still need to make a recipe for since we've never told the system how to generate Yellorium. So Yellorium is made, uses for that is done like this. So 8 of those turns into 4 ingots. So we'll have Yellorium for days now. This is going to be awesome. We'll just throw that like right here next to these other things. I guess that should be perfectly fine. Okay, so that is all set up. The import bus over here does not need to be filtered. This thing's only ever going to export cyanite, and we'll just put that into the system. We have a compacting drawer over here that is collecting that, so we might do a chest transporter. Take that and then stick it over here somewhere, I guess. Oh, I can't mine anything. I have mining fatigue. I guess we could just put it right here. That's fine. So now we have that available to the system in our storage drawers, all of our cyanite, which we never had before. Yeah, so we should be able to see all of that. Cool. All right, so that takes care of this stuff. We don't need this compacting drawer anymore. We don't need any of this. Auto crafting. All of that goes away. Infinite water source. That's redundant. We already have that with our other stuff. So the Yellorium seeds is the only other thing. Whoops, I guess we're out of space here. Yeah, it turns out I made a little bit extra reactor casing, more than what we needed, which is fine, but it's kind of unfortunate. Oh well. Let's grab our Yellorium seed and we'll stick it over here. So we are we will be currently growing more Yellorium for when we need it. Dirt. We need a little bit of dirt. And that is not dirt. There we go. Okay. So now we will be growing Yellorium and getting that into our system. So when we need more, it'll always be available. And we're growing it with fertilizer, which we weren't doing before. So we should be getting Yellorium way faster than what we were doing previously. We were able to keep up before, but now that we're using more fuel while our reactor is on, we're going to be burning through more fuel. So we're going to want it a little bit faster. We also have this Yellorium ore, Yellorite ore that we can also smelt down, pulverize, and all that kind of stuff. So yes, I think we're doing quite well now. I guess we can get rid of this whole thing over here. Nice. All right, one more thing. We need a cobblestone brick, and then this should all look nice and tidy. Very good. I like it. Yes. Okay, so I was almost thinking that we were going to have to move our infinite water supply over here. We could move this to a better spot, but yeah, the way this was all set up, we didn't have to. So the final thing is we just need to hook this up to our existing applied energistics stuff, which, yeah, we can. I'll grab another cable inker. Some more of this cable. We're going to need some more. And then I think off camera, I'm going to go ahead and redo all the wiring here like we were talking about before. So we have that dense cable going around instead of these smaller ones. That way we can provide all the P2P channels to everywhere that we need. Where is that? Okay, so we got all of this glass cable. We should be good, I think, now. So I'll just put that cable anchor there so we, oops, so we don't attach, and then I attach it. So we can not attach, and then, yeah, we'll just run this over something like this, and I'll bring this up. Like so. Okay, yeah, again, that cable, I'm going to rework it so it'll look a little bit nicer. But now this should be hooked up to applied energistics. Yeah, we are exporting Yellorium here. We should be importing the cyanide from there. So everything should be good to go. And then all of our Yellorium essence is being collected right here. How much Yellorium? I don't remember. So we have a little over a stack of ingots in the system, and then we're gaining more Yellorium all the time, which is great. All right, guys, so now that we have all of the power, we should be able to start using this thing a little bit better. So these do have slots here for different upgrades, I'm pretty sure. And I haven't tried this with like the different upgrades in here, so I am kind of curious to see how much faster these things will go if we put in all the different upgrades. So yeah, we're going to put in the speed 1, speed 2, the energy 1, energy 2. One of those makes it go faster, I think. And one of it makes it use less energy. It does it in a weird way. I can't remember exactly how it is. Obviously, it uses less power and goes faster by the names of these upgrades, but it does it in a way that was a little bit different. And I can't remember exactly how it was different. Like it makes the progress bar go faster, or maybe the progress bar goes slower and it uses more things. I don't know. It was slightly different when I looked at these previously. But anyway, so let's do active without redstone signal. Look at that. It's going... So that's using 225. We can do that with all of these. Okay, and that one. So are we collecting ores like really quickly here? Oh no, the progress bar. You know what? I was expecting this to be a little bit more fast than what it is. Okay. Well, we've got ourselves a tin ore and we got ourselves a peridot. Well, we can put in the different color lenses here to try and specify what kind of ores that we want to get out of here. But you know what? That's not so bad, to be honest. That's not bad at all. Okay, well, what we're going to want to do is have that sent over to our item import section. Let me down here. So that is on this ender chest, and that's on black, black, black signal. Do we have any ender chests remaining? No. Can we make one? Ender chest. I don't remember what this thing costs or if we have the things. So we need a white wool and a chest. Okay, so we'll do that and a wool. Next, do it. Okay, so there's that. And then we need ink. Okay, well, we only have that many ink, but I remember that our dye essence can make ink sacks. We should probably make a recipe for that. Let's do that now, just so I never have to worry about ink sacks ever again. So the uses for that, okay, so 3 along the top is what it was. I couldn't remember. All right, so we'll do that, and we'll throw the black ink in there somewhere. Ink. sack. Make, how about 30? Okay, very good. And we just need 3 of those. Okay, so we're also gonna need a way to extract the ores out of that machine, out of the drill, and then into this chest. So let's do item duct, I guess. Impulse is fine. And then a servo. I don't think we need to do anything too crazy. We won't worry about making Enderium the best of the best. I think that should be good enough. Oh, whoops, I went too far down, didn't I? Okay, so back over here. In this corner, we need to get this thing hooked up like so. So we get the item duct there, servo there, ender chest up here with the things colored appropriately. All right, so we got a decent amount of ores in here so far. We got emerald and lapis, mana infused. All right, so we'll do that. Ignored. So all that stuff should just be going into our ender chest and being imported into our applied energistics system as it mines things, which is good. Yeah, I was really kind of expecting this thing to go a little bit faster than what it is. Now, this is using 225 RF per tick. So yeah, it is going through power quite quickly. So that means we're going to be using like around 900 RF. 900 RF per tick with all of those going, right? So I'm kind of curious. Take a look at our reactor here. How are we doing on the power drain? That's really not that bad. We could probably make some more of those things and have multiple of those going if we're focusing specifically on one type of ore. So that might be something we look at in the future. But anyway, guys, we're going to go and wrap the episode up here for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.